Tamika. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another episode of Tuesday with Tamika, where y'all already know what it is. We believe in lifting as we climb, turning our trials into treasures, living a life to inspire and not impress, opening up and allowing God to fully restore us, and loving as if we've never been hurt. I am so excited about this episode, you guys. I feel like it has been one of those things that has been a long time coming. Kind of like probably where you're sitting at and how you're feeling in your due season. I believe a lot of times we're doing the work, we're putting our hands to the plow, we have our head down doing all the work, and it feels like you're not reaping anything. How many of you guys know we all have a due season, and everybody's due season comes at a different time? I want this podcast to encourage you as you are waiting for your due season. Here's the thing about the due season: when the due season comes, if we just look at that word due, right? And I want you to look at it in multiple different ways. If we look at it like dew in the morning that falls upon us, don't you know that that dew literally sets the stage? It is moisture that allows things to wake up. It allows things to it brings life. That dew in the morning brings life, like the dew in the morning, right? There's a song that they used to sing way back in the day, like the dew in the morning. And then also when we look at dew, there are some things that are due to you. They've been held up because of delay, because of disobedience, because of dysfunction. But I believe 2025, there is a speed and a grace, and things that have been due to you will be released. They will be given to you. So I'm super excited to talk to my amazing guest about the due season. So without further ado, hey sis, you have a minute?
Hey sis, you got a minute? Hey sis, you got a minute? Hey sis, you got a minute? Hey sis, you got a minute?
Yes, girl. Hey, this was a long time coming in. It was this season. It was time. It was time for this season. It was.
Absolutely. Tell
Yes.
the TWT family a little bit more about you and your
Yes.
name and all that good stuff.
Yes, I am Olivia B. Shepherd. I like to go by Coach Lady O or just Lady O. Don't have to be all formal. I am a certified transformation coach. I'm also a podcast host. I'm also a three-time small business owner. Also am a graduate student getting my clinical mental health counseling degree as of July this year. So I'm just like right now seeing clients. So it's been a busy due season for me. Um, but other than that, I also coach a group called A Path Forward for women like myself who are on their healing journey. Women who are looking to move forward past their traumas, the drama, the betrayals, the fear, the doubt. So I host that group for the women as well. So this is who I am, and it's my due season. So
It is
you'll
your
see a lot more of me.
Yes, it is definitely your due season. You show up amazingly on social media. And so I'm not sure how our paths crossed, but they did. And we are
Mhm.
always liking and sharing and
Yeah,
supporting one another via social media. And I said, you know what? It's time for us to jump on the podcast
exactly.
and just talk to folks. So
Yeah.
let's start with your group that
Hmm.
the group that you are walking women through their own healing journey. And I love
Yes,
how you said you're still on your healing journey.
it
I
is.
always tell the ladies I coach,
That's right.
I'm not there. I've not
No, no,
arrived. This is
no.
something that I am also walking
That's
through.
right.
So
Hmm.
let's talk about your group, and then let's talk about some areas that you're continuing your healing journey
Hmm.
and what
Yeah.
prompted you to start your journey.
Well, my journey started about 8, 9 years ago. I a lot of trauma, sexual trauma, betrayal, family betrayal. It was a lot, and we didn't talk about mental health back then. Everything was swept underneath the rug. So me now becoming a counselor, where I'm seeing 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. I
Mm,
was a 12-year-old who had trauma.
mhm.
So that trauma was never resolved. So it took me into adulthood. So
Mhm.
it manifested in my marriages. Marriage. I've been married 20 years. Um, let me get that straight before he hear this. Um, yeah, it manifested in my marriage. It manifested in my relationships, my jobs. I mean, my businesses. It manifested all over. I mean, and so I decided, one day, I needed to, commit myself, and I did that. And I'm
Mhm.
very proud of the fact that I did that stint in the hospital because it took me to a new level.
Mm.
I didn't know that the things that I was doing, like being a shopaholic, being an alcoholic, raging out. I didn't know those things were from my childhood trauma. What
Mm.
is childhood trauma? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, ain't nothing wrong, because that's how we're trained. We're not to tell our business. We're not supposed to say anything against the family. It's like being in a mob when you're in that type of family. Don't
Mhm.
go against the family. And so one day when I did all of the DPT, DBT therapy, CBT, I mean, I was doing it all.
Yeah.
And it started to resonate with me. Like at 12 years old, I was sexually assaulted by my father.
Mm.
Okay. This happened and I suppressed it. We didn't
Wow.
talk about it anymore. Then I became his caretaker. Okay.
Wow.
So this came back up. So I ended up having another breakdown because I became his caretaker. So I was diagnosed with PTSD. Of course, we
Mhm.
think PTSD is just for soldiers or people at war. No, it was the smells from him. It
Ooh,
was things. It was
talk
things that
about it.
just was like, ugh. And my therapist at the time said, honey, you're suffering from PTSD and you've
Mhm.
never had to deal from that trauma. And
Mhm.
so sitting in that hospital, and we were in a group therapy, and we did journaling. And the lady said, well, what do you want to do when you leave here? What is your goals? What do you want to do when you leave here? And at that time, I told her I want to become a coach, a life coach. Even though
Mm.
nobody talked about being a life coach all those many years ago, we saw them. We didn't really think we could do it, even though it's not like a regulated field. And I said, I would never let another woman suffer the way I did.
Mm.
And I've changed the name of my group several different times, but the reason why it's called A Path Forward now was because I don't want to keep looking back at my trauma.
Oh, that's good.
I don't want them to dwell in their trauma. It
Mhm.
happened to us, but we have got to find a path forward, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through empowerment, mentorship. We have got to find a path forward. We're responsible for the healing. No,
Yes.
the trauma is not our fault. My dad died a year. It's been a year. He died a year last year, December, October. So he's been dead in a year. He can't come back from the grave and say, baby girl, I'm sorry.
Right.
It happened. I went through it, but it's how you get through those tough times. And I wanted to walk the women through it this year from a different path. So we
Mm.
were in the group talking about the depression, and we were talking about anxiety, and I felt depressed talking about it,
Mhm.
especially when I'm doing so many things, right? Like I'm doing these things. I'm getting my college degree. I moved to Texas. I'm doing all these things. I'm looking good now. I'm losing weight, and I'm feeling good about myself. And I'm like, I need these women to come with me. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about depression anymore. I don't want to talk about anxiety anymore. And another thing that I know for a fact that I am, and this is my due season, is because I have incorporated God into every freaking thing I am doing
I
right now.
love it.
Do you
I
hear
love
me?
it.
It ain't nothing. I don't, a topic of discussion in my group, I do not come with a coaching session unless I have confirmation from God. Period.
Mm.
That's how that goes down. If I don't get a confirmation, I don't come with that stuff in the group. So I
Mhm.
needed us to go a path forward. I needed us to take those steps, get past the fear, get past the doubt, get past those things that keep us hindered.
Yeah.
And so this week we're talking about, what does our vision look like past healing? And I
Mm.
want them to create a vision for their lives outside of the chaos, outside
Mm.
of trying to be in survival mode all the time, outside of the drama and all that stuff. So they're receptive, it's a little hard for some of them still because they still want to stay stuck in the unforgiveness. And I say, well, guess
Yeah.
what? The only person who is suffering is you.
That's it.
They're the only
This is
person.
so good. Last night in my group session, because I have this is resonating so deeply.
Mhm.
which lets me know that we're both on the right path
That's
because
right.
in my group, we're the Becoming Her membership, and Her
Mhm.
stands for healed, elevated, and restored. The
Love that.
elevation you have to elevate. You have to go
Yes.
forward. You cannot stay stuck in the healing
That's,
portion. Like you got to be going
that's right.
forward. There
Mhm.
has to be movement. But last night in our session, we were talking about triggers and exactly what you said. I
Mm.
know that when they're listening to this episode, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, Coach Tamika said the same thing." Because I was talking to them about smells, about sounds, about what you
Yes.
eat, what you taste, because the trauma that you experience, it lives in your five senses. And
Yes,
so
it
there'll be
does.
things that trigger, but what do we do to not just stay triggered? Everyone
That's right.
loves these words like
That's right.
triggered and
Hmm.
manipulation and what's the
Hmm.
one everybody always talking about? Everybody think everybody is a narcissist. Narcissism, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
everybody ain't no narcissist, right?
That's right.
But we learn these things from
That's
social
right.
media, from TikTok, whatever.
That's
But
right.
how do we move forward? We
Hmm.
cannot just stay stuck. And like you said, and I told my group, I said, now listen, you guys, I'm not there anymore. And if you were assigned to me,
That's
you
right.
gotta come on. You gotta come on. You gotta keep moving. You gotta go forward. Hey, 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 are you ready for an amazing business opportunity? Are you ready to break generational curses and build the wealth that you have prayed for? Well, listen, with Digital Boss Academy, we have hundreds of ebooks, planners, and templates that you can use and get personal resale rights. Yes, you heard that right. You can literally sell the products that are already done for you in your own digital store. Yes, every single one. Digital Boss Academy has products that lead to profit. It is your time to create legacy. It is your time to do it while inspiring others to do the same. Become the curse breaker you've been praying about. Click the link in the show notes to start your journey today.
That's right.
So, what are some practical tools that you're helping your ladies and that you help
Mhm.
women that just are connected to you via social media or your podcast? What are you telling them for us to move forward? Because that path forward is a real thing and we all need to be on the forward path.
Exactly. And like you said, if you're connected to me, we ain't fit to stay victims.
Come
We're
on.
not getting ready to stay victims because you're not going to keep looking at my life saying, I wish I had strength like Lady O. I wish I had, what Coach got. No, you do got it. But see, you got to put in the work. See, that's the
Mm.
problem. See, we're not putting in the work. Today I went into mama coach mode. That's what I call it, mama coach mode. So I kind of just went off today. I'm like, y'all making excuses. I'm
Mm,
sick of this excuses.
come on.
I'm too big. I don't have enough money. I said all those things is going on with me too.
Come
All those
on.
things, but it didn't stop me from getting out here doing the podcast. It didn't stop me from writing this book I'm writing. It didn't stop me from posting when I need to post. It doesn't stop me from showing up for you all. You all are making excuses. And this year, I'm not here for excuses. Even with my counseling clients, if you don't do the work, you don't get to complain or continue to blame other people for your demise.
That's so
This is
good.
on you now. Okay, and some of these women been with me, they're paying for this stuff, right? There's mine's a membership group too. You're paying me to stay stuck? Are you
Mm,
kidding me? And I said, I'm not taking y'all. No, if we're gonna ride this thing together, we're gonna ride this thing together. But you're gonna do the work. You're gonna journal like I asked you to.
that's
You're
it.
gonna go out and do that work, that walk, like I told you, for those in
That's
my group
it.
that want to lose that weight. 30 minutes. Y'all see my they told one of my coaching clients text me. She said, "Girl, I see your weight loss." To my, I said, yes, because I get my butt out there in the cold and I'm doing my 30 minutes. I can only do 30 minutes now that it's really, really freezing, but 30 minutes ain't gonna kill you. Okay, you
Right.
get out in nature, and I'm scared of everything known to man, especially like here in Texas. Okay, they got everything that's creepy, crawly, and crazy. But I be doing them that mile in there. I get a mile in there, and I keep it moving because I knew the goal I set for myself of being 200 pounds when I got here because I was eating and sad because I left home. But I'm like, I'm not gonna stay like that. I'm not
Right.
like that. But because I had to do the work.
That's
Okay.
it.
If I give you an assessment to take, how stuck are you? And you just looking at it. Because they get workbooks every week. And then some of
Mhm.
them, a lot of them, we can't print it off. I said, you got a library, you got jobs. Don't come for me with these excuses. I had one of them. She just bought her printer the other day. She said, "Let me get this printer." And it was $37, lady, because she was like, she said, "Mama, oh, I ain't playing." I said, "I'm not playing because y'all not gonna watch me with that cap and gown on this year, knowing that I come from such struggle.
Come on.
Y'all saw me down and out. There were days I was sick for 2 years when I moved here. I couldn't even
Mm,
speak for 30 minutes. I couldn't speak for
yeah,
20 minutes. So they've seen me struggle. They've seen me struggle. And you see how I bounce back? So you know why that happened? Because regardless of those triggers, I do the work. I
that's so
did the
good.
work so that the triggers wouldn't get to me. Yes, some of the times I'm still triggered by things, right? My
Mhm.
dad, sometimes I will get a whiff of a smell and it will
Yeah,
smell like my dad. And it either make me ball over or I'll sit up in the shower and I'll just cry.
yeah,
But I know it's a trigger. I know I thought about it, and then I keep it moving. So I
that's
go
right.
into my journaling. Hey, tonight I smelt my father. Somebody told me that spirits come around you. He don't need to
Mhm.
come around me because hey, you had your time. So don't come around
Listen.
me in your spirit. That what you don't need to be doing, okay? That's freaking to me. So leave me alone. You died without saying you apologies to me. It's closure for me. So
It's
hey, don't
done.
be trying to be all up in my life now, right?
Right.
But but I journal. I
Mhm.
see my therapist. I go do what I need to do. I go take a rest. If I need to take a nap, I will shut everything off and take a nap.
That's
Okay.
good.
I will rest because what I'm not going to do is go back down that dark path. And I
Yeah,
don't want to be down there anymore because there's nothing came out of that. And my,
right.
my due season is now, and I had nothing back there.
Mm.
And so this, like I tell them today, I told them we're not victims anymore. I'm done talking to y'all. I'm not victim. We're not victims.
That's Coach
I kind of
Coach
went off
Lady
today.
O, you are talking so good. I tell folks, I got all the I call them sexy excuses. I got some
Yes.
sexy
Say
excuses
it.
of
Say
why
it.
I could stay stuck, while I could
Hmm.
be not doing all the things that I'm doing,
Yes.
but I don't use those as excuses. I've
That's
had to
right.
let them go. I had to let them
Yes.
go
Have
because
to.
we all got them. We all
Yes.
have them. But if you
Yes.
want, Myron Golden says, be, do, have. If you
Hmm.
want the life that you see other people live,
That's
you
right.
gotta be something. There's something that you have to be, then you have to do the work
That's
and you
right.
can have it. The
That's
word of
right.
God says that God is no respect of person. So what you see one man have,
That's
you can
right.
see another person have. Listen, I down to the point where I see folks on social media, just right recently on my threads. Um my threads account, right? If you guys ain't following me on social media, make sure you're
Yeah.
following both me and Lady O.
Exactly.
All of our social medias will be
More
in the links
threads. Yeah.
below. But I grew like 1,000 in
Hmm.
2 days. I grew a
Yeah.
thousand followers.
That's
Why?
right.
I did the work. I said,
That's
okay,
right.
I'm intentional about growing this account
That's
because
right.
there's people over here that are not on TikTok, that are not on Instagram, that
That's
are not
right.
on Facebook, and I want
That's
to
right.
touch these people and reach these people. So
That's
what
right.
did I do? I was intentional. I
That's
set
right.
alarms. I journaled about it. I prayed about it. I did it.
Right.
It literally everything that we do, you just could you like it's copy and paste. You
That's
want
it.
to know, you journal. You take
Mhm.
I tell my clients go on those movement walks.
That's right.
It moves the trauma out of your body. Not
Yes.
only that, you get a benefit by
That's right.
looking good, by looking
That's right.
snatched, right?
That's right.
Take the nap, do the things, and then you can translate that and do all of those things in business and
That's right.
have the business that you
Yes.
desire. So many of
Yes.
my clients be like, "Oh, I want to write the book." So do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's simple. I wrote 8
Hmm.
books in 8
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
because I was intentional about it. I
Right.
decided I wanted to do it and I did it.
That's
So
right.
I love your intention. I love that you are pushing women
Hmm.
because we can't babysit no more.
No, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. I'm
Mm-mm.
done. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No,
Done,
I'm
right?
I'm done. I'm done. They
Because they're
grown. They grown.
listen,
Okay. I
listen.
love them. They know I love them. They know Mama Lady. I love them. But y'all grown. Y'all over. Some of us are over 50 in that group.
Come
Okay.
on.
And you still, I gave this example too about my mother. My mother's 69 years old.
Mm,
My mother is still an alcoholic, which
wow.
she won't admit. My mother hasn't had a driver's license in about 15 years. Okay.
Wow.
She's still living in the place where my grandmother died. where
Mm.
she moved in with my grandmother before my grandmother passed. I have repeatedly tried to get her. I even thought about letting her move to Texas. I even tried to get her to move when we were in South Carolina. And then I thought about it. She doesn't want to do anything. See, so I'm
Mm.
not babysitting my mother. And if I'm not going to babysit my mother, I ain't going to babysit grown women. Okay. And like
There it
I
is.
explained to these women, today I said it. Do y'all want to be a 69-year-old my mama? You
Ooh.
want to be her? Do you want to sit at 69 years old, living in a place that has no back door? She lives in a building. She's smoking, she's drinking, she's just doing things that I wish my mother would change her life and not do anymore.
Mm.
But it's because she has no ambition. It's because she doesn't want, because if you say it to her is, well, I got the on my back, that's excuses for me. Because even
Mhm.
before the back was hurting, she had every opportunity to do all of the things that she needed to do. So I say to the
Mhm.
women in my group, y'all want to be 69 years old, still talking about you taking care of grown kids? Y'all still want to make excuses that, well, I got to take care of my kids. My son, 28 years old, he just got married. I'm not over there. I'm so glad that girl can cook. I'm so glad she can do everything. I'm done. You see what I'm saying? I'm not even being a mama to my kid no more. Like I love
Right.
you, but bye. You know, you got a
Right.
wife. That is her responsibility because I am at a point in my life where I'm no longer babysitting people. I don't babysit my husband. I don't do anything. He can barely do things on his own. I'm like, you got to do it. I got schoolwork to do. I got things to do. I'm in a
Mhm.
new era, you know.
Mhm.
And I tell these women, y'all are scrolling. So the times that you're scrolling, you could be writing.
Hello.
The times that you're scrolling, you could be walking.
Hello.
Times that you're scrolling, you could be napping. No, but you're so busy trying to see what other people are doing and wishing and hoping they had that life. It ain't fit to get ready. I said, read your Bible. And he
Come on.
gives you the gifts. He gives it to you. He didn't tell you that you shouldn't be wealthy. He told you to get the money. Okay? But y'all sitting there scrolling. It tells you in the Bible again what it says. You know, he didn't give us a spirit of fear.
Come on.
But we still walking around here in fear of what people gonna think about us. You know,
Listen.
yeah. One young lady said, "Well, what I want to do is oversaturate." So is coaching.
Hello.
So is making T-shirts. So is doing everything I do. I'm a
But people
counselor now.
still making millions every day doing it.
Every freaking day. Okay, every freaking day. Like people are doing. Some people got the same designs I got. Okay, you know, like you said, you tried to grow yours to 1,000. I got 19,000 over there. I'm at 93,000 over on Facebook, on Instagram, and 19 in Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So because I was intentional about growing those things. And I remember my niece was like, "Oh, auntie, this probably bots because some of your likes not adding up." I said, "Oh, you better check again, sis. Go back and check again and see the likes and see the replies because that stuff is real. Not because I
Yes.
was playing with my audience. I
Right.
When I let go of trying to be like everybody else and just became me, that's when my stuff blew up. And when I started
Yes.
talking to God. So no, we can stop making excuses. We all could do the same thing. Here it is, two coaches doing the same thing. Same exact thing.
And our material and our content is very similar, but I never felt like I was in competition with you. I
Sure.
never felt if
Sure.
listen, I've always felt like, almost like a team where if I
Yes.
can't make the shot,
Yes.
coach gonna make it, coach Lady O
Yes.
gonna make it. I
Yes.
know other women that teach and do healing work.
Yes.
If they don't come over here to my content, they gonna go
Mm-hmm.
over there to her content. They're gonna
That's
go
right.
over here to her content
That's
because
right.
I know that there's somebody that they can only hear from me. I know
That's
that there's
right.
some folks that can only hear from you.
That's right.
And listen, no excuses because there are so many coaches out here.
That's right.
So, for everyone that's listening, whether you came listening to us from Lady O's audience or you came from Coach Tamika's audience, it is your due season.
That's right.
So now, what are you going to do?
That's right.
What are you going to do that it is your due season?
That's
Because
right.
time out for just getting the prophetic word, for getting
Mhm.
the activation and just
That's
feeling
right.
good for a moment.
That's
You
right.
need to put on your big girl panties
Mm-hmm.
to do the work and you
Right.
need to get busy.
That's right.
Healing is your birthright.
That's right.
Elevation is your birthright.
That's right.
Restoration, it's your birthright.
Yes.
God desires for us to have these things.
Mm.
But my
Yes.
question for you is, are you ready to have it? If you are ready to have your healing, your elevation, your restoration, I want you to either get in contact with Lady O or get in
Yes.
contact with me. It don't matter who you get in
That's
contact with.
right.
Whatever resonated with you today,
Mhm.
I want you to click these links in these bios.
That's
We
right.
have ebooks, we have coaching
Mhm.
programs, we got all
That's
the
right.
things for you
Yep.
to connect with.
That's right.
Connect. Do something today. Invest in you, because
Yes.
this is what I know for sure. Those of you that are listening, you going to get your nails done. You going to get
Hmm.
your hair done. You going to
Hmm.
go to the spa. But when are you going to invest in your insides, in your
That's right.
soul? When are you going to do the soul investment for you to
Mhm.
be, do, and have everything that God has called you to have?
Yes.
Lady O, I'm so glad we had this conversation
Finally, finally, like we've been following each other for years, seems like, and
for
finally,
years.
because it was our due season. See, it
Yes.
never manifested, it never worked out a couple of years ago because I wouldn't have been able to talk, you know.
Yes.
So it works out now. You know, everything seems like everybody who I've been connected to are now reaching out to me. You know, everybody's like, hey, you know, I love your content. Can we talk? Girl, yes. Please.
Yes.
I've been stalking you. Be talking, y'all. So yes, talk to me. Bring me on. I don't mind. I don't care. Talk to me because again, I only want to be aligned with people who are aligned with my spirit.
Oh, that's good.
People who literally are aligned with me, and we are aligned with each other. Okay, and I knew that when
Absolutely.
we did our little message behind the scenes, we were aligned. I was like, yeah, these are my people. This is
Yeah.
my person.
And you know what, you even what you are saying, I want that to encourage somebody, because
Right.
there may be people that you're watching online, and because they have big audiences and
That's
you
right.
feel like, "Oh, I can't reach out to them." Y'all know
Mhm.
I sent Lady O a book. I said, "Listen,
Mhm. Yes, she did.
here's a book. I want more folks to know about my
That's right.
content." And I trust her opinion.
Yes.
I trust her
Mhm.
insight.
That's right.
Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot in friendship.
That's right.
Shoot your shot with that person that maybe you're like, I have this little podcast and I want
Yes.
it to grow into something.
Mhm.
Invite them on. Be
Yes.
vulnerable this
Do
year.
the work.
That's it, coach. Do the work.
In the due season, do the work. In the due season, do the work. That's what you're gonna take away from tonight. In the due season, do the work. That's
I ain't
it.
got nothing else to say, y'all.
That's
That's
it.
the mic drop. Until next week, continue to lift as you climb, turn those trials into treasures, live a life to inspire and not impress. Open up and allow God to fully restore you, and love as if you've never been hurt. The next thing you guys are going to hear is a commercial about the Digital Boss Academy. Listen, it is the lowest price that it has ever been. If you are ready to break into digital marketing, maybe this is a way that you can start your coaching business. Maybe this is a way for you to start putting out content online. You don't know where to start. Here is a sign for you to start. I love you all. Bye bye.